I'm not sure I like that book. So, The Dangerous Company. I like it. I'm just not sure. It gets me to want to get up and keep reading it. I want something to be like, ooh, but I don't want like a Agatha Christie mystery thing, or suspense, and I don't want like, I don't know what I want. I think the last book that I was like, ooh, with was the Green Dress Lady and Her Seven Husbands. I listened to that through audio, but I was like, I was going to the gym, getting it. So let's go find a book. It's the next morning. I usually drink coffee and smoke and write, but I'm like, I don't know what they're writing next with my story, so it's probably gonna have to come from life. Like sometimes it's probably gonna have to be like, okay, keep going. Something in my life is going to have to inspire me to be like, I need to put that down. That's fucking wild and crazy. It needs to be shared. It needs to be forever ingrained somewhere. But I want to read. I could read some acting books because they have some really cool stories, and I can do like monologues and stuff, and not monologues, but like just read. They have a lot of scripts in them, so it's kind of fun. One of my favorite acting books is Dare to Be Seen. I actually worked with the writer of this book, like maybe twice. And the third time I was gonna work with her, I didn't use her but her name's Deryn Warren. She's fucking great, and the story really helped me with the little things. Really, her book really helped me with the little things, and the little things are like, how I want to quickly feel emotion, or quickly cry or not, or I don't know. But those are really small things, so I try to reread some of the stuff sometimes just to like, oh, right, where I'm at now, because it builds on to where you're at. Anywho's, you came in to watch me read, not fucking talk. So, now we're gonna keep the headscarf on. All right, this is How to Make Your Audience Fall in Love with You by Deryn Warren. She's an expert advice on acting technique, script analyst, and taking risks. Am I gonna need some water? Probably. It's early in the morning. I like my voice this best. That's the reason why I'm really doing it. I think I sound like a goddess. I heard that in a tarot video, that he's gonna fall in love with your morning voice because you sound like a goddess. I'm manifesting that part. I don't know if that shit's real, but I'm manifesting. Like, I'm gonna keep affirming that because I like that idea. This is the morning water I was supposed to drink when I first wake up early in the morning, but I always forget it. I keep it by my table though. We'll read a little bit. She's got 2 children and everything. There are 10 chapters. There's an acknowledgement and there's an introduction. It's short. I don't want to read it. Nope. All right. Chapter 1. Ways to make the audience and the casting director fall in love with you. Use yourself, not a character. This is pretty common knowledge. And once you get what this means, it's no going back. We want to see your unique self, not your unique self's idea of a character. You are different from everyone else. Your parents, your history, culture, friendships, traumas, socioeconomic status, and education all add up to give you a rich background. I should do a math one more. No matter how much background material you could imagine for your character, no matter how many pages of background you write, your imaginary character will never match your long and complicated history. That's just gross. Anyway, I was like, oh, go with it. No. Use yourself in the circumstances of the role. It is who you are in love. You are robbing a bank. You have only one eye. Use your imagination about the circumstances, but use yourself, your instincts to react. If you're playing someone with a low IQ, play yourself living a low IQ moment, having a low IQ moment. We all have times when we can't figure out a math problem or can't read a map. We feel silly or embarrassed, or we laugh at ourselves. Make sure it is you working to understand something that is beyond you. There's nothing interesting about playing a dumb person with no dimensions. You are embarrassed that you are not smart. You working to understand what is beyond you, or you trying to cover up that you don't understand, or all interesting choices that involve hard work. I think I'm overthinking. We all play many roles in daily life: employee, parent, lover, friend, party animal, and professional person. In each role we act differently, but we're still the same person. You will feel different in every role, just as you feel different when you are wearing a formal outfit compared to when you are wearing jeans. That is why it has been said that a costume is 80% of character. We assume roles all the time, and we ourselves are in each one of them. Assume a role, but don't play a character. Be yourself in a situation with your own reactions. I call it looking out for your own eyes, looking out of your own eyes. No matter what role you play, a superhero, a supermodel, an intellectual, a farmer, or even a sociopath, you want your audience to be thinking, that actor is so exciting, intelligent, and full of vitality that I'm falling in love. How do you make them love you? Yeah, it's really cool to, it's really your POV. Even when you see a script and it says, your character is doing this, read it as you doing it. So you can be like, I see myself sitting there and reading this book. And what it looks like and what it feels like. Ooh. So, risk. For every audition and for every scene, never be content with just saying the lines with some kind of meaning and emotion. Anyone off the street can do that. Risk. Add to the scene the biggest gift you have, yourself. Not your everyday self, but your extraordinary self. Have you heard of a recording of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech? You could read these powerful words and be moved, but when you hear him saying the words using all his passion, his thunderous voice, his care to make each phrase of great consequence, then you are stirred and changed. He risked because he wanted to make an impact. He wanted to change the world. Why do actors so often work with only a third of their personality showing? Without their natural energy and humor, without even using their full voice, so many actors whisper as if they're doing some commercials for personal hygiene products. Polite is boring. Playing it safe is boring. Y'all hear that? They Zoom. That's the truth, bitch. Taking chances, risking extending an idea from safe to spectacular is the actor's mission. Actors risk by using all of themselves, their own passion, humor, charm, intelligence, and vitality by making unconventional choices and by not being afraid to make fools of themselves. Two actors play the part of a bank robber. The first actor commands men, women, and children to sit on the floor and not move. He sounds like a mean cop ordering around criminals he despises. He threatens to blow them all to hell if they give him any trouble. He grabs the money and runs. The next actor is just as tough, but even though he has the same lines, he uses flirtatious tone when he talks to the women. His eyes widen with glee when he sees the money. He even winks at a scared kid. Yes, he's the actor the casting director will cast. I mean, come on. He's the actor the audience will fall in love with because he is the actor relating to the other actors in the scene, using all of his personality, his humor, pleasure in life, and confidence. At parties, do we notice the person who sits in the corner not disturbing anyone? No. Going to a party determined to have a good time takes a get up and a go attitude and guts. We notice a person who is fascinated or amused by the other guests. Why would actors choose to be any less? Even though Hannibal Lecter, played so brilliantly by Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs, was a serial killer, we found him mesmerizing. He used irony, which is dark humor, and exhibited a fierce intelligence. Look at The West Wing. There isn't a scene in which the actors don't use irony or wry sense of ridiculousness. The men on the staff like each other. They have fun. They look like people you like to meet. It's how they got the parts. My first acting teacher, Mr. Rob Roy, I met him in a meetup group. Acting class that was on a meetup group. It was great. But I remember he used to say, be interested, not interesting, which is pretty much what this book is trying to teach us, how to be interesting. And they're basically telling us to be interested in something, and which is usually other people and the scene with you or the stakes that you're working on. So he used to say that shit all the fucking time. I'd be like, that part. And I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, because I'd be like imagining like watching TV and he'd like, be interested, not interesting. And I'm just like, okay. And because he'd be like, okay, say because he would use this analogy, and he would be like, you know, you're watching TV, what makes you want to, you know, you flick into the TV screen, what makes you want to stick on that? You know, what? So you can't be, it's not that you're interesting, it's what makes you want to say is that the person is being themselves interested in something, and it makes you want to be like, what are they interested in? Who are they? What does that mean? Okay. What's going on here? Child, what's going on here? All right. Some people can sit in a chair not saying anything, and they look appealing. I bet that man has a lot to say. I want to meet him. You might think you are attracted to his interest in the surroundings, a twinkle in his eye, and appreciation of the people around him. Jack Nicholson just has to raise an eyebrow, and the audience adores him. He takes a lot of pleasure in himself. He always looks happy and cool, and his raised eyebrow tells you he's having a fantastic time. He may not look as good as he used to, but he's just as engaging and fun, and it's fucking true. George Clooney, Goldie Hawn, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jackie Chan, Hugh Grant, and Will Smith all have a charm and humor too. We just saw that with Bad Boys, Will Smith and Mark Lawrence movie that just came out. Old school. And like some of these are like Goldie Hawn. I was like, where is anyone? Where's the women? Nicole Kidman. And who's? I can't think of my I have like black women names in my head, but I can't think of their name on top of my head, and it does not make me feel good about myself right now. You know what's funny about doing this and talking to myself in the camera? Is the fact that I've been doing this for the past couple of days because work has been slow, and have this, the only thing that's consistent is me getting up in the morning and writing. And I just started talking to myself. And now there's a camera. They're telling me to shut up. All right. You don't have to be in a comedy or even have an outgoing personality to win over an audience. The vulnerability of shy people, an ability to laugh at themselves, and an energy it takes for them to fit is very appealing. The point is that you should never use an excuse to show. The point is you should never use an excuse not to show as much of yourself as possible. No actor should say, I'm playing a nun, I have no feelings for men, or I'm a lawyer, I have to behave professionally at all times. These excuses don't allow your personality to reveal itself. Using excuses, inexperienced actors rationalize why they don't have to risk. Actors tell me, I wouldn't do that. when the role they're playing demands more than they feel comfortable with. But we don't want to see only your own everyday personality. We want to see the part of you that is capable of being a hero, of being cruel, of showing exquisite tenderness. We want to have you in depth, but I don't think people fucking really like seeing that. I don't know if that's really fucking true anymore. See you at your most extraordinary self. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm not being my most extraordinary self. But I think if I was going to be a hero, it would be hard to contain some feelings, a lot of emotions, and I overact. I get super excited. I gotta act like I've been here before. I don't think I've been on Earth that much though, or ever before this time. This is hard. You have to push your comfort level. I once coached an actor who was auditioning for the part of a bomb expert, defusing a bomb with a clocking tick. She said the words just fine, but her body wasn't tense. She couldn't raise the stakes high enough. She didn't put herself in a situation. And it seemed she was in mortal danger, but she was afraid to make a fool of herself by overacting. How could anyone believe she was defusing a bomb that was about to go off? If her body didn't show extreme tension, she didn't get the part. If her body didn't show extreme attention, so she didn't get the part. A new student in my class had not yet learned to use all of her personality. Her first line said she was tired, so she played weary throughout the scene, which is not attractive. She needed to play a game of humorously being so tired instead. Excuse me. She argued with her male partner, making points in an irritated fashion, and even went so far as to sigh at his lack of understanding. No one would find such a person appealing. When I suggested she work to make him fall in love with her instead of merely scoring points, she was transformed. She became sexy, intelligent, likable, and humorous. The argument became a playful flirtation. We liked her and the scene because she showed us many aspects of herself. I'm also seeing a pattern that women have to, like, actually no, women and men, be flirty. Even if, which is usually for women just being friendly, but be flirty. I mean, you don't have to flirt if that's not who you are, but if you're, like, every scene is a love scene. You're acting, you're not, if you were really in love, even if you are an introvert, insecure, shy person, and you don't really know how to talk, but if you're really in love and that person in that fucking scene really is the love of your motherfucking life, is the most beautiful thing that you ever seen, and that's really how it has to be. Even if in real life you don't see that person as like the hottest fucking thing in the world and you can't stand their guts, you really have to pretend like, holy shit, I just met the love of my life. Dare to be dramatic. Dare to stand out from the crowd. Dare to make risky choices. It's how you got the first part over the competition and how you keep getting parts. Always use humor. Risk by using humor in places that are not obvious. A sense of humor makes actors so appealing that it should be part of every role. My problem with this is I'll laugh. I've been told, like, you probably shouldn't laugh at that part. I'm like, have you ever been in child about to get in trouble? My inner child is gonna be trying to hold that laugh back. Like, no, the fuck, this didn't, the absurdity of it all, the absurdity of it all is what I feel like sometimes I add to it, because that's how I'd be like, the fuck, bitch? No. And they'd be like, don't laugh at that part. Like, you're sad. Like, this is, I'm like, I don't know how to handle my emotions, bitch. I can't handle my emotions. Not necessarily the ha-ha kind, but at least a wry knowledge of the oddness of the situation. A small laugh can escape intense situations. For example, I was in a hospital waiting room while my mother was having a heart operation. Another family was there to support a young woman in her 30s whose husband was dying. At one point, her friend brought a huge platter of assorted sandwiches and told the young wife she needed to eat. The wife looked over the platter and gave a slight laugh as she wondered how to choose between so many. In the midst of tragedy, there was still humor, which released the tension of the room. It was very human. If it had been an audition, the laugh would have added a unique dimension that might have set apart. But again, don't do anything for the casting director or audience. Only concentrate on what you're doing to or for your partner in the scene, and use your natural instincts. Playing games with lines or using sarcasm or other important aspects of humor. One actor whines, "I'm so tired," the other actor says the same words but sinks dramatically into a chair with the back of her hand on her forehead like, "I'm so tired." She's playing a game. They both may be tired, but which one is more appealing to a partner in the scene, and which one would be the casting director to fall for? Look at the following lines. Luke, brilliant speech, Max. Pithy lines, pure genius. Max, what do you want? Luke isn't giving Max a real compliment. Luke is playing the game of, I'll give you a ridiculously flowery pseudo compliment, and you'll know I want something. The change should amuse them both. Gameplay makes unbearable situations bearable. Look at these lines from the title characters of Thelma and Louise, who are on the run from murder and are about to commit suicide by driving their car off a cliff. I guess everything we got to lose is already gone anyway. How do you stay so positive? We love courageous people using humor in the face of disaster. One of my students doing a code reading in a class had a line asking her partner for a small favor. When he agreed, she said, "Really?" He laughed with so much pleasure and surprise that she got a laugh from us. What an unexpected, risky, and delightful choice for such an insightful line. The lesson is to find some aspect of humor in every role and to use yourself in all of your best assets, your intelligence and vitality, to achieve your goals with your partner. Another way to make your audience love you is to use energy, which I'm also told I have too fucking much. Energy is attractive. Energy is full of life. Energy is sexy. Energy draws attention. Energy makes stars. And energy is fucking fun. It's in there. Energy is fucking fun. Too many actors are terrified of overacting that they underact, and no one notices them. They justify their boring performances by believing that using energy and making risky choices won't make them seem natural. But natural is often boring. I'm just joking. If you are in a restaurant waiting for a friend to arrive, that's not even true. No, I couldn't even name a black woman earlier. Anyways, I saw Goldie Hawn's daughter because I was doing background work. It was dope. She had energy. She was like, Kate Hudson, that's her name. And she was like, doing her little dance, her blonde girl suffer dance thing. Like, just like, what? It was cool to see in real life. She's just like, I like when actors are like, oh, that really is just you. You are effortlessly like, so just play yourself. Sometimes we're not like, I'm gonna say this. I say that just play yourself, but it's like being yourself is so fucking hard when it's not naturally something you do because you've been told or made to feel like or assume that being yourself or something that you like or something that you did was bad or you shouldn't do or you feel ashamed of or feel guilt from it. So we don't tend to be ourselves a lot. A lot of people, that's why we have that fucking mask in public. So, it's not easy, but acting has a way of like forcing you to go down that path of figuring that out. Like who you are without the mask and not being afraid to like that person you were when you're by yourself, be that person in real life too. One time I was meditating at the gym where everybody was working out because I wanted to work on concentrated focus. and my throat chakra was blocked. So I really want to sing. I can't sing, y'all, but I can feel it now. This is why I'm also doing this, because my throat, well, it's shot. It's always like blocked because I'm not saying what I need to say. That's the part that made me feel shame and guilt, that I say some crazy ass shit and I feel bad for it. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. So I was walking down, leaving the gym because I did my meditation in, and I started singing out loud because I was like, I'm gonna be myself. If I was by myself, I would just fucking sing. You know what I mean? And I sung. I was looking at how, and the homeless people, there was a homeless man who was even looking at me like, bitch, you look fucking crazy. He even stopped like saying his weird little shit just to listen to me. Like, are you okay? The hardest one really was walking by like black women, because I really wanted to be liked by them. And I'm a black fucking woman. So I got some shit to work on. And yeah, that woman gave me a look, but it wasn't scary. Nothing happened. And that was kind of like the lesson of whatever. Nothing happened. People looked at me weird, or they looked away. They went about their fucking life. That's what happened. Say what you need to say. Overacting is fascinating. We don't be strange to overhear a couple fighting in the parking lot, and don't we stop and dead in the street to get. Yeah, that's one. Oh, don't be afraid of overacting. We do it in real life. We overact to things that later we realize were not important. Just a little story about that. We got furious, impassioned, and strident. We fight for our political views and maybe offend people with opposite views. Haven't you ever been accused of going too far on some occasion? Overacting is fascinating. Don't we strain to overhear a couple fighting in the parking lot? And don't we stop dead in the street to grin at someone whooping with happiness? If a woman breaks a nail, she can look at it with indifference and figure it will grow out. Or she might go nuts. Oh no, I had a perfect set of nails. The promise tonight, this is an emergency. Well, there is no limit to how excited one can get about that fingernail. I clearly care. And the indifferent women and the overexcited one can both be believable. Acting is about making choices, exciting, energetic choices, raises the stakes, make that broken nail a disaster. Melodrama is faking large emotion. If you don't fake, you'll be believed. You will never be accused of overacting if afterwards you apologize and sing with a smile or laugh at yourself or embarrass. Scenes should go up and down in energy, not stay steady. Steady will put the audience to sleep. Most scenes are not as long as they used to be because of our attention spans. But back then, yeah, you would have to add a lot. I mean, still do that shit, levels through that shit, yeah. You know, break up the moments and shit, and how you would go about it. I went to a concert at Rose Hall. Voice Hall. I should, because I just wake up and do this shit sometimes. I should just do mouth movements. Anyways, I'm not gonna do it later on in the day, so it's just what it is. Why I do it every morning. I went to a concert at Royce Hall in Los Angeles with a full orchestra and 4 cellists ranked in order of skill from first down to 4th. The cellists leaned forward as they played. The 4th and least important cellist relaxed against the back of his chair. Each cellist concentrated. They were all excellent and skilled musicians. They all played the correct notes, but the 4 cellists didn't have that extra something. Energy. Passive actors who wait for their partners to begin the scene, who wait for their partner's long speech to be over with without itching to jump in and say something, who don't have passion or boring. They aren't working hard. They're using a disappointing fraction of their energy. Tip. In any scene, the actor with the most energy is the one the audience knows first, even if the actor has fewer lines. Another word, and if you're in a scene with someone who's like fucking going crazy with all their energy, let them play with them. If the scene is like you have to keep going up, and then that's just y'all shit, and that's what works. But if you're just like, oh, I'm gonna let you let them have it, I guaranteed you. Because it's like, you know, sometimes it's your time to shine, sometimes it's not. But I guarantee you guys are gonna move up together. They're bringing it up together. You know what I mean? It's a delicate place. But if you're not in the mood to be like, let me get up there with you, don't fight it. Enjoy the moment. Smile and laugh with them and be like, crap, the fuck. Another word for energy is work. Even if you don't have lines, you must be working hard. The work of scene involves giving your partner a message. You send messages throughout the whole scene through your lines and your actions. Hard work is interesting to watch. I don't mean the work of preparing for a scene. I mean work expended when the actor is working with passion to change his partner. And that's true. Like, you're using your body, your mind, your emotion, your words, like your energy. Like, it is work while you're doing it. When he has no lines, he's still sending specific silent messages. He's concentrating, focused, energetic, ardent, fervent, and therefore fascinating. During a political debate, the panelists up on the stage waiting to speak are still using energy to react to what is being said. No comment with laughter or scorn or by to comment with laughter or scorn or by shaking their heads. They are energizing, communicative, even without words. Their energy draws attention. Work does not necessarily involve talk. Imagine going out with a new lover. You are constantly touching, flirting, giving sexy looks, turning your partner on and showing your partner your appreciation. All this takes work. Thinking of a mother telling her child silently with a look or a gesture to kiss Aunt Mary. The Aunt Mary with a bristly mustache. The message is clear to the child. If it's a comedy, the harder the mom works to send the message to the unwilling child, the louder the laughs will be. Work is not necessarily loud. Few silences take work. How about the silence after a marriage proposal? When the man wills the woman to accept, lying hunkered down in the grass, concentrating on the prey, waiting to spring, is working hard. A couple giving each other a sexual charged look, or a soldier squinting down the barrel of his rifle, are all at their most alive. Their muscles are tight. They're focused and engaged. Work. Almost done. Don't think about tightening your stomach muscles. Work harder on changing your partner, and your muscles will tighten automatically. When I'm talking to my students in class, my muscles are always tight, and I sit up straight in my chair. Why? Because I care about them, and I'm working hard to communicate. If you're focused, your muscles will be working. If your stomach muscles aren't tight, you're not using enough energy, and you're not working hard enough. The last thing she says about making people fall in love with you is to love yourself, all right? Casting directors and audience love actors who love themselves. Did you ever see a skinny guy flex his muscles proudly in front of a mirror? Did it make you laugh? Sure. It's funny that he pretends he is gorgeous and ripped, but he's not. But our biggest enjoyment comes from him taking so much pleasure in himself. He's been silly and having fun, and that makes us have fun. It makes us like him. Don't we love a kid who scores a goal and comes running off the field flushed with pride and pleasure? Don't we laugh at his pleasure? Isn't that kid the most appealing person in the crowd? And at that moment, conceit doesn't look appealing. It looks self-involved. But confidence, readiness to laugh, and great sense of humor are all very appealing. Look what places do you see? My nose is like, ooh, I'm getting stuffed up for some reason. Look for places in your scenes where you can add these upbeat traits. Even Hannibal Lecter, tied up in the cell, still enjoyed his own brilliance. I see actors make the choice to whine throughout their scenes, or become shrill, or shuffle back and forth, or hide behind the hair. Why should your partner do what you want if you are showing him such unattractive traits? If that shit works, though, like, you know what I mean? If it's the director tells you to do that shit, no, seriously, like, I just don't like the word unattractive, but maybe I'm just being sensitive. Love yourself enough to make attractive choices for your partner. Solid choice. Summary. Use your own passion, quirkiness, strength, intelligence, confidence, and depth. The more aspects you show of yourself, the more riveting the audience will find. Always finding humor, irony in every scene. Work with passion, focus, and energy to change your partner, and you got the part. Well, you have the part if you look the part or their idea of a part. If you aren't too young or too old or too fat or too thin or too tall or too short, if the director's girlfriend doesn't get it, the business is tough, but you knew that. All right. And that's it in that chapter. And, I realized that I'm like talking as if I'm teaching. I used to be a teacher, and I used to this is how I was in class. I don't miss teaching, but I did enjoy teaching a little acting when I did it. And I don't know. I like the theory of acting and breaking it down and analyzing, which is why I don't mind reading the books on it. It's like, oh, let's just say like that. Anyway, I need to get up and wash my face. And I actually have audition I'm going to work on. It's for a play. And I kind of want to get in play and see where my overly active energy, what I can do with that. Anyways, I'm going to probably be reading that again because I enjoy reading that book. And I enjoy reading that book out loud. I used to read it out loud all the time. Alrighty.